I've decided to come out in the area of Bignor and Eartham today, in West Sussex, near the South Downs. I'm in the forest at the moment. I'm going to take a walk along the Roman road of Stane Street. This is Eartham Woods that we're in at the moment. It's made up of mainly beech trees. And this path's going to lead out of the woods shortly and onto some open pasture land. There's some really beautiful woodlands in this area, which is at the end of December now, and pretty much all the beech trees have dropped their leaves and laying on the ground now in that russet colour. So that way is Chichester, and that way is London, and that's where the road ends and begins. Stane Street was in use, they say, from AD 70. They're not quite sure when it was built, but they dated the artefacts they found on this road from excavations, so they reckon it was in use from about AD 70. And the word Stane comes from the Norse word for stone, so it's Stone Street. It was made up from all sorts of rubble, flint, sand, iron slag, and bits of stones, and probably whatever they could find along the stretch they was building at the time, I should imagine. And it was about 24 foot wide on average. We've just broken out of the woods now, and this is probably my most favourite part of the Roman road. Onwards. It's a little bit uneven on this patch. Lots of flint and tree roots protruding out of the path. This rounded ridge that we're standing on at the moment, this is a fine example of Stain Street that's left surviving still. Just walk along the top now. Over to the left there, the radio mast of Bignor Hill. It's quite something, isn't it? It's much wider here as well than in the forest. And over in that direction is Slindon. And over in this direction, way over there, far yonder, is the sea. Okay, let's go onwards. Stain Street, like the other Roman roads, does lead in a straight line from Chichester to London, but not a direct straight line, because it has to swerve around the North and South Downs Ridge and the Greensand Ridge as well, so it'd be too steep to climb otherwise. So they're the only two or three places it swerves out about 6 miles from the main direct pathway. And if you look at Stain Street on the map between Chichester and London, you'll see it's bowing out ever so slightly. I've just found something really cool I wanted to show you. That's out towards Chichester way, and that there is Hanaker Mill. That's the famous windmill that Hilaire Belloc wrote about in his poem. I think it goes something like, Sally is gone, that was ever so kindly. Sally is gone from Hanaker Hill, and ever since then the briar grows blindly, and ever since then the clapper is still, and the sweeps have fallen from Hanaker Mill. Now that is a brilliant drop of countryside. There's another nice drop of countryside. Everything's brown now this time of year, except for the grass has taken on a washed out kind of green colour. We're shortly going to leave Stain Street and follow the path down towards Slindon. I just disturbed this fella run out the herbage on the pathway. See him stalking through the winter crop. I think that's beet or something like that, sugar beet, I'm not sure. The lordly pheasant. Quite beautiful creatures, but they don't half make a racket when they jump out the bushes hollowing. Frightens the life out of you sometimes. Look at him peeping his head up every now and again, keeping an eye on me. Okay, onwards. Just spotted these mushrooms in the side of woodland from the pathway. There's quite a few of them round here, all growing connected to each other on the ground. This is the biggest of the ones I can see around here at the moment. It's absolutely stunning specimen. I don't know what it's called. You can see where something's been eating the gills there. All sorts eat mushrooms, mice, mainly slugs and snails, insects. You get the burying beetle that comes along, and it smells the rotting mushrooms and comes along and lays its eggs. Flies lay their eggs in them. Look at this. Herborobot, or cranesbill, flowering in December. Just goes to show you how mild it's been lately. Today it's very mild as well. Not really that cold. It's a bit of an overcast day as well. You can see the sun in the distance in the south there, shining quite brightly. We're just going to break out onto the open downland in a second. The thing I love about coming to a place like this